History called him a monster. Rome called him mad. But legends are not born from madness alone. They are created by power. Nero Claudius Caesar Germanicus entered history carrying one of the most infamous reputations of any Roman emperor. Yet his story did not begin in cruelty or madness, but in a world shaped by dynastic fear, political violence, and the heavy legacy of power. He was born on December 15th, AD 37, as Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus into the elite but dangerous world of Rome's Julio-Claudian dynasty. This was a family where emperors rose through bloodline and intrigue, and where survival often depended on ambition, secrecy, and ruthless calculation. Nero's birth came during the reign of his great-uncle Caligula, an emperor whose short and erratic rule already revealed the instability at the heart of imperial Rome. From the very beginning, Nero's life was bound to forces far beyond his control, shaped less by personal choice than by the ambitions of others. Nero's father, Gnaeus Domitius Ahenobarbus, died when the boy was only 3 years old, leaving Nero entirely in the care of his mother, Agrippina the Younger. Agrippina was no ordinary Roman woman. She was the great-granddaughter of Augustus, the sister of Caligula, the niece of Emperor Claudius, and one of the most politically astute figures of her age. Ancient sources describe her as intelligent, relentless, and dangerously ambitious, a woman who understood power better than many men who ruled Rome. During Caligula's reign, Agrippina was accused of conspiracy and sent into exile, and Nero spent his early childhood separated from her, living in relative obscurity while Rome's imperial court descended into paranoia and fear. Everything changed in AD 41 when Caligula was assassinated and Claudius was unexpectedly declared emperor by the Praetorian Guard. Agrippina was recalled from exile and she returned to Rome with a clear purpose. Over the next decade, she carefully rebuilt her position, navigating the court of her uncle Claudius with patience and calculation. In AD 49, Agrippina achieved a shocking political triumph. She married Claudius himself. Though Roman law and custom frowned upon such a union, Claudius approved it, either persuaded by Agrippina's skill or blinded by his own vulnerabilities. With that marriage, Nero was suddenly thrust into the center of imperial power. Agrippina's ambition did not end with becoming empress. She wanted her son to rule Rome. Claudius already had a biological son, Britannicus, but Agrippina moved swiftly to secure Nero's future. She arranged for Claudius to adopt Nero, giving him the prestigious name Nero Claudius Caesar Drusus Germanicus. She placed the finest tutors around him, including the philosopher Seneca, whose Stoic ideals would later contrast sharply with Nero's reputation. She also secured the loyalty of the Praetorian Guard by promoting Sextus Afranius Burrus as their commander, ensuring military support for her son. Step by step, Agrippina built an invisible structure of power around a boy not yet old enough to rule. In AD 54, Emperor Claudius died suddenly after a banquet, and rumors spread almost immediately that Agrippina had poisoned him. Ancient historians, such as Tacitus and Suetonius, report these suspicions, though no definitive proof survives. What is certain is that Claudius's death cleared the final obstacle. At just 16 years old, Nero was proclaimed emperor, while Britannicus, still a child, was sidelined and soon afterward died under mysterious circumstances. Rome now had its youngest ruler in generations, and behind him stood his mother, exerting influence that few women had ever held in Roman history.
The early years of Nero's reign were not marked by tyranny or chaos. In fact, ancient sources agree that the first 5 years were among the most stable and restrained of the Julio-Claudian period. Guided by Seneca and Burrus, Nero reduced taxes, limited capital punishment, and showed respect for the Senate's authority. He presented himself as a benevolent ruler, eager to govern through moderation rather than fear. Coins, speeches, and public displays emphasized harmony and justice. For many Romans, especially the lower classes, Nero appeared as a promising young emperor who offered relief from the terror of previous reigns. Yet beneath this calm surface, tensions were already forming. Nero was young, artistic, and deeply interested in music, poetry, and performance, passions that clashed with traditional Roman ideals of masculine authority and military discipline. Agrippina, meanwhile, refused to step aside. She appeared beside her son at official events, attempted to influence political decisions, and reminded Rome that Nero's power flowed through her. Ancient writers describe an increasing struggle between son and mother, not only for authority, but for identity. Nero wanted to rule in his own name. Agrippina wanted to rule through him. As Nero matured, he began to push back against her control. He distanced himself from her advisors, limited her access to state affairs, and gradually removed her from public visibility. What had once been a partnership of ambition turned into a dangerous rivalry. In a dynasty where family loyalty rarely survived the lure of power, the stage was being set for tragedy. By the end of Nero's early reign, the balance that had kept Rome stable was beginning to fracture, and the forces that would define his legacy were quietly gathering strength. This was the beginning of Nero's transformation, not yet the monster of legend, but a young ruler shaped by dynastic pressure, maternal dominance, and a political system that rewarded spectacle as much as strength. To understand who Nero truly was, one must first understand the world that created him, a world where power was inherited, feared, and defended at any cost. In the next chapter of his story, Nero would step fully into that world, and Rome would begin to see what kind of emperor he would become.